Have you ever heard anyone refer to people as an asset? I've heard this many times from a lot of different perspectives. And I've also heard people really get upset when someone refers to people like in an organization as assets. And there have been times when I have also gotten upset about it. However, the vast majority of the time when I hear that, I agree with them. And today we're going to get into that and what that looks like and why it's important to understand how you can view this in a way that supports the people that are around you. I am Angela W. Stillwell. I'm the CEO and founder of Untapped Strengths, and I work with individuals to transform them into top 1% leaders, and I work with teams to transform them into powerhouses. And that right there is part of this whole thing. Teams, powerhouses, top 1%, right? So, John Maxwell has a phrase that he uses that he says, when people are esteemed, relationships are redeemed. And what he means by that is that when people are recognized for their value, then the relationships are enhanced from all different types of perspectives. And I'm talking about whether you're looking at it from a personal standpoint or a professional standpoint. Your teams, if they are valued, then guess what? They're going to want to do more to support you. And in your personal relationships, when someone is esteemed or valued at a higher level, then your intimacy is going to be improved. Your everything, right, is going to look better when people actually are valued. And so I want to dive into this today about seeing people as an asset, because reality is people are our most valuable asset. If you go back in time and you look at the value of people from, again, way back at the beginning, in order to survive, there was this tribal mentality, right? People didn't survive on their own. When you look way back in history, it just wasn't possible. A person couldn't do all of the things and protect themselves from, the elements and the wildlife and raiding tribes and all sorts of things alone by themselves, at least not for an extended period of time. However, when operating from an environment of working together and valuing each other, then that longevity, that survivability, that thrivability, is that a word? Thrivability? It is now. That ability to thrive is enhanced when you recognize the value of the other people around you. Now, when you are stepping into your leadership, and again, you guys know I talk about leadership from a leading yourself first so that then you can lead others. And there's a whole lot that goes on in that concept. Today, we're going to really focus on, a whole team or your family or your community, right? Recognizing other people as valuable. Now, when you are in a quote unquote leadership position, you want to make sure that you are really leaning into what I refer to as power skills. And maybe you've been around for a while and you've heard me talk about power skills. A lot of people refer to these skills as soft skills. I don't believe that these are soft skills any longer. I believe that these are the skills that absolutely make a difference. These are the difference makers in success and failure, in uh, in increasing your revenues, in retaining your people, in saving your marriages, in elevating your kids' opportunities going forward. It's in these power skills that all of that gets to happen. Here's the thing. And I wrote a little bit about this yesterday in the post. If you didn't see yesterday's post, make sure you look it up. But these skills that I'm referring to are not taught in school. They're just not. They're not taught in grade school. They're not taught in high school. They're not taught in college. In fact, even in organizations where these skills can make or break departments and, yes, even entire businesses, there's not a lot of depth in the training around this. And like I said, I mean, it's not something, these are things that we're learning some aspect of these skills the entire time from day one on Earth, right? Because these are things that are happening on the subconscious level in your mind. And in order to be more effective with them, you get to train yourself in some form or fashion, whether it's that you had a mentor that taught you how to do it, or you study it yourself, or you read it, you practice it. These are not things, or maybe you had a coach, in high school for whatever sport you were playing, or maybe it was a martial arts coach, or maybe it's a coach that you've hired now that you are out in the world and working, that has helped you with these skills. Now, listen, some of these skills are somewhat inherent. Some personalities lend themselves a little more to some of the skills than other personalities do. However, even the vast majority of organizations out there that have incredible personal development and leadership development programs, they often don't go deep into these skills. They talk about, what a great leader is. They don't give you space to really practice these skills. And what I'm talking about when I say these skills, I'm saying things like, I'm referring to things like emotional intelligence. Most of us have heard the phrase emotional intelligence. What does that really mean? Mindfulness. What does that really mean? Resiliency. What does that really mean? What does that look like? How do you even practice these things? What about having difficult conversations? Where do you get practice in that? Right? Other than actually having a difficult conversation. Here's the thing. You get to actually take the time for yourself to learn these skills, because like I said, they are absolute differentiating skills for your success, for business success, for relationship success in all aspects of life, whether it's personal or professional, whether you're talking marriage or you're talking your team or you're talking with your children, whatever it is. These skills, and I've just listed a few of them, these skills are super important at being able to make people feel esteemed so that you can redeem the relationships. If you're looking at people as an asset, just as a dollar figure on the balance sheet, then yes, I agree with the people who get upset about that way of looking at people as an asset. When I say that people are an asset, I'm talking from a complete, well, that's one aspect, right? That's one angle. However, it goes way deeper than that. Yes, they impact your bottom line financially. And I'm talking both personally and professionally. Yes, they impact your bottom line. And they impact everything else that's prior to getting to the bottom line. They impact customer relationships. They impact, department relationships. They impact design and creativity and all of the aspects. There is no business if there are no people involved in the business, both on the backside and the customer facing side, and the customers themselves, because these skills impact the relationships that you have with your customers too. So this is something that I really zero in on with my clients, whether we're talking inside the community called the leaderboard, or whether it's one-on-one coaching clients or group coaching clients, or when I'm working with organizations to enhance their leadership development programs, or speaking in front of, their audiences. Really digging into these power skills and practicing, not just reading about them, actually practicing them. Learning how your subconscious thoughts, your automatic thoughts are impacting your ability to implement the skills. See how you believe about things, the meaning that you give to things impact your ability to use these skills at the highest level. So, I have a couple of resources that I'd love to share with you. If it's something that you're interested in digging a little bit more into, just put Power Skill in the chat or send me a DM that says Power Skill on whichever platform you're watching this, right? And I will get you that resource. Listen, this is something that these are skills that we get to continue to practice. These are not skills that, oh yeah, I've got that. I never have to worry about it again, because every scenario is going to look a little different. Now, you will get better and quicker at being able to adjust and use the skills, right? And it's going to look different in every scenario. And if you are the head of a department or the head of a company and you don't have an area of development for your team to enhance these skills, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? Here's what I've seen. It had, for my clients, their bottom lines have improved, their client relationships have improved, their personal relationships have improved. And of course, while I'm talking, these guys get up and move around. Again, real life. You guys have seen them before. He was snoozing over here and decided that now was a good time to get up and move. Anyway, yes, back to their revenues have improved, their marriages have improved, their relationships with their children have improved, their incomes have improved, their teams have improved, their profitability has improved. So it's not just increasing revenue, it's also profitability, because you're spending less time resolving some issues that can be resolved on the front end rather than the back end. Okay. So again, put Power Skills in the comment below or send me a DM and I will happily get you the information, or my team will happily get you the information on digging deeper into the Power Skills. All right. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and I will see you next week on the Weekly Live Show.